Well, hello, Good Vibes Show fans. Welcome to the Good Vibes Show by me, Jerry Hill, part of the Special Chronicles Network's Season 13 Recap Special. So I hope you folks have all caught up on Season 13 of the Good Vibes Show by me, Jerry Hill, as well as watched Seasons 1 through 12 of the Good Vibes Show and their season recap specials, as well as my special series, The Road to 2022 Special Olympics USA Games, which talks about my training up to and the results of my training from the 2022 Special Olympics USA Games in Orlando, Florida. So, folks, before we get into, I know a lot of people are wondering why I chose positive for season 13, but I have some more positive news to share first. Is that the Good Vibes Show by me, Jerry Hawley, got on the Million Podcast Top 100 list, and there's 3 lists I got on. I was number 30. We were number 38 on the 100 Best Happiness Podcast, number 39 on the 100 Best Monday Motivation, and number 31 on the 100 Best Optimism Podcast list. So these lists, I was surprisingly got on this list. So you may notice if you're watching the video of this that I actually have the Million Podcast official Best 100 podcast thing on there. So it worked out very well. I admit that it's actually kind of a unique piece to have part of these things, and it's actually interesting to see that this podcast has made these 3 lists, and it's like even better, I'm in the top 50 of these lists, so it's kind of important. And you may notice I'm using a different type of mic now, that my camera might be a little more high defish, and the lighting's there because I decided to do a little tech upgrade as well. Post season 13, obviously, because in season 13 I was doing tech roulette, I'm going to say, with different technologies, and I'll admit to that was not the best idea to do. However, this is why I'm now moving forward will be so much better. I thank you all who've been so supportive of me during these 13 seasons of the Good Vibe Show. I will promise there is a season 14 coming up. I have yet to figure out the theme, but I might stick with talking about positivity because I feel like positivity is such a good thing to use right now in this time and age. So I think I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to try and choose some sayings I like to say a lot for this. So that season. So anyway, do stay tuned for season 14, folks, as I do promise that. But most people are wondering why I chose positivity. I think that's on everyone's mind right now. I think why I chose it was simply because in the time we're having right now, particularly in the United States, but also around the world, is there's so much negativity going around that we need to focus on more positive things. So obviously I took a lot of the positivity lessons from Ted Lasso, and obviously those who watch the Ted Lasso show, yeah, obviously there's a lot of things in there. There are a lot of positive moments because he's a very the character is an upbeat character. But I've looked at it as a way to say, like, hey, these are things we can apply to ourselves in everyday life. And I think that's what we need to focus on, is that we need to keep ourselves positive, because the reality of what we're dealing with in today's society, norms and everything, like basically everyone focuses more on the negative than the positive. I think that's when we need to think about. I think that's the most important thing we need to realize in life, that positivity is what we need. And granted, I'm sometimes of a negative Nancy myself. I think that's the correct phrase. But I'm now thinking about it, that there's more positivity in how we do things. I think folks need to appreciate that more than aiding. So it's important to be more positive in things. I think most people don't understand that. And I think we all have so much to give when we're more positive than we're negative. I think we need to remain very optimistic about things. I know folks are thinking like that's thinking like, I bet you some people are like, oh, but their positivity could be something negative in someone's mindset. But in my opinion, it's not. It's important to be positive because, one, positivity can help us do a lot more things in life. And I think we need to focus on being more positive and less negative, because when we focus on the negative in life situations, I'm going to rephrase that for a second, that it's not good. And I think we all need to focus on the more positive things in life, and that's what we need to do. And I think positivity is the most important thing we need to do. And I think I'm going to point forward that I think I'm going to probably end up doing like a positivity theme in the Good Vibe Show, or maybe just stick with saying the sayings I know that are positivity things. I think it's important to note that the Good Vibe Show is meant to spread positivity, good vibes, appreciation, supportive, uplifting, positive vibes to everyone. It's not meant to spread all this negative connotation. And like, granted, sometimes people might see some things I may say in the show negative, but it's not intended to be in a negative light. It's in a positive light. I just thank you all for tuning into the show because people, viewers and listeners like you, make this show an important thing of my thing. And I know this is more of a, I'll bet that the Good Vibe Show is more of a positivity thing, more of a sighting. And who knows when I'll eventually end it. If I run out, eventually do get tired of this, but I doubt I will. I may have to spread out a season more over a year. I think I may end up eventually happening depending on how things go in life. I think I do appreciate all you who've tuned in so far for this journey for 13 seasons. And it means a lot to me that we've gone through 13 seasons. Granted, that's not many episodes. I think that's like well over 200 somewhat episodes, maybe 250 at the last check. You don't have to quote me on that. But it means a lot that to share this positivity because this whole podcast started during the worst of times in life for a lot of people because 2020 obviously everyone was having it. I'm still going after so many years. It's still a good thing. And I thank you all who've tuned into the show. And it really means a lot for you as viewers, as listeners to take in the show. So I thank you all again for tuning into the Good Vibe Show. And I hope this season 13 was a great season for you to appreciate all the positivity you came from it and help you use that positivity because I am planning to do more positivity seasons because I feel like that's important, that we need to focus more on positivity. I mean, instead of all these other things that need appreciation and supportive vibes, I know everything deserves that, honestly. But I think we need to sometimes focus on ourselves first as well. So, thank you all again, listeners and viewers, for making the Good Vibe Show what it is today. And I thank you all for sticking around for me. I hope you stick around for the next, who knows how many more seasons I have. So, here's our, wrap this all up, the season recap. Here's our great sponsor ad from the Special Chronicles Network. The Good Vibe Show is proud to be featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter and find the podcast page for this podcast, The Good Vibe Show by me, Jerry Holy. If you love The Good Vibe Show, then you love the other podcast on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media. And support the podcast on Special Chronicles so we continue our mission of giving respect and advice to people with special talents and abilities. Visit specialchronicles.com/give to make a gift today. So, folks, remember to follow the Good Vibe Show on Instagram at Good Vibes by JH, and Facebook, facebook.com/GoodVibesJH, YouTube, Good Vibe, the same thing, just switch YouTube out for Facebook. Remember to follow, so subscribe to the Good Vibe Show by me, Jerry, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. And remember that if you want to support the show even more, you can check out my Redbubble shop, look up Jerry M. Holy. I have quite a few unique designs on there. My most recent designs are Slimmy is Life, which is going to be one you definitely like. And there's also some newer distinct spirit animal designs on there. So I'll help you all tune in and appreciate what this show has done for you. I know it means a lot to me, but I hope it means a lot more to you. I think, remember, folks, that we need to share good vibes to everyone, regardless of where we are in life, because one, good vibes goes a long way. So until season 14, folks, until next time, peace out. Boop, blah. Have a great time, folks. I hope you enjoy the season recap. I'll see you for season 14 pretty soon, folks. Bye, everyone.